I call the honourable member for Corangamite.
Madam Speaker, my question is to the Minister for Communications. I remind the Minister that 19.6% of households in Corangamite do not have access to the internet at home, and a key impediment to home internet access is affordability. When will Australians learn more about the impact of the former government's NBN on broadband affordability, and how will this be changed by the current government's plan to deliver the NBN?
I call the honourable member for Communications.
I thank the honourable member for her question, and I note her passion, Madam Speaker, and strong advocacy for ensuring her community has access to very fast broadband. And she's quite right. The biggest barrier to broadband is not technology, it's affordability. Australians on the lowest incomes have the lowest rate of internet usage in their households. Now, of course, under Labor's NBN, and this is their plan, not ours, under their plan, average revenue per user was going to treble from 2012 to 2021. So they were going to spend tens of billions of dollars on broadband and make it less affordable for Australians, not more affordable. But of course, the truth is, Madam Speaker, that there was a lot about the NBN that the Labor government knew that it didn't share with the Australian people. The former minister, the member for Grainler, was well aware that from the NBN Co itself that it was not going to hit its targets for June 30, 2014. He refused to release the reports and indications that showed it was going to miss that target by 70%.
The Minister will resume his seat. I recognise the member for Grainler. On a point of order, what point of order?
On a point of order, I'd ask the minister to table the alleged report
There is not
he's
a point
referring
of order.
to.
There is no point of order. I call the minister.
Well, the honourable member will be well aware that it was tabled actually in the Australian Financial Review, so it's hardly a secret. But yet there's more, Madam Speaker. There's a great deal more. On the weekend we learned that the Labor government had been advised by its investment banker Lazard that the NBN on the government's plan was going to result in a $31 billion loss, a negative net present value. And they didn't share that with anyone. The NBN, Madam Speaker, has been the characteristically reckless Labor undertaking from the very start. From the moment it was conceived by Senator Conroy and Kevin Rudd on the back of a beer coaster on a VIP flight. And that beer coaster, Madam Speaker, should be elevated. It should be an exhibit in Labor's pool room of horrors. It really should. No, it should be there. It should be there with other historic artefacts, such as the fridge at the Lodge on which Prime Minister Gough Whitlam approved the Kemlani loans arrangements to bypass the Loans Council. And of course, the Labor pool room of horrors should not be without the Lazy Susan from the Hong Ho Vietnamese restaurant where the Leader of the Opposition plotted the downfall of Kevin Rudd.
The Minister will resume his seat. Has the Minister concluded his answer? The Minister has concluded his answer. I call the honourable member for Fraser.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. My question is to the Minister for Communications. Given the answer the Minister has just given the Parliament, will he now release his incoming minister's brief?
I call the honourable Minister for Communications.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm delighted to get that question from the Shadow Minister. And you know, now we're on the topic of releasing things, I call on the Leader of the Opposition.
I call the Manager of Opposition Business.
He's once again indicating he's about to not be directly relevant. And it should not be the situation where we have.
We'll have some order, thank you. I would ask the Manager of Opposition Business which standing order he is referring to and then make his
The
point.
standing order with respect to direct relevance.
And?
And the minister is not being directly relevant to the question and has even just flagged to the parliament he doesn't intend to be.
I call the Honourable Minister for Communications and ask him to be relevant to the question.
Madam Speaker, I'll be very directly relevant, but I am concerned that the Shadow Minister opposite, who recently compared this place to Hogwarts, now obviously believes he has magical powers of being able to foretell the future. Madam Speaker, the decisions about incoming ministers' briefs are taken not by the minister, but by the senior public servants that take that. But I would be prepared, very, very happy, to encourage my secretary to release that incoming minister's brief if the Leader of the Opposition were prepared to consent to release all of the cabinet papers relating to the NBN, because Senator Wong, that is very wrong.
The Minister will resume his seat. Manager of Opposition Business, you've had one point of relevancy.
The question
You had one point of relevancy. What is it? Another point of order?
The minister is defying your ruling to be directly relevant.
There is no point of order. The Minister for Communications.
Madam Speaker, transparency is the order of the day, and I embrace that wholeheartedly. But the Senator Wong went on television on Sunday and, reacting to the report about this investment advice, it's got nothing to do with your interest, has it? You can't stand the truth, can you?
The Minister.
Now, but here it is.
The Minister.
Senator Wong said the negative $31 billion figure was selective advice. She didn't deny that was given to the government. So we know that was given to the government. So the way to put it into context is for all of those documents to be released, and you can do it.
Now, there is no shame in having some vociferous exchanges.
Madam Speaker,
Manager of Opposition Business.
could the minister please table the document he was referring to?
Does the Minister have a document which is not confidential?
Madam Speaker, it gets worse and worse. He thinks he is in Hogwarts. He thinks I had a document under...
The Minister will resume his seat. Manager of Opposition Business.
If it is of assistance, the minister was referring to his incoming government brief in his answer, and it should be tabled.
I think we don't need a point of order. There was no point of order.